Hello everyone and welcome to Riga, the capital of Latvia, population of over 700,000 people. The city rests at the mouth of the river Daugava and it's known for its Art Nouveau architecture and 19th century buildings. We're here for the Titlis Glacier Mountain Women's World Curling Championship 2013. It's all happening here at the Volvo Sports Arena. I'm Alison Walker. With Zander Robag, we'll be bringing you live coverage of China against Sweden in draw 10. Undefeated Sweden. Fans are getting ready for this next session of play. Much anticipation. Swedish fans here in their numbers. And some children getting the afternoon off school as well to watch the action. And here are the lineups for China. The lead, Yan Zhu. At second, Jinshuang Yu. The third, Yin Lu. And the Chinese skip, Binggu Wang. For Sweden, 5 wins, no defeats. Scotland on 4-1, and a whole host of teams on 4-2. Canada on 3-2. The Chinese with just the 1 win so far. Victory over Germany in the last session of play. And Zander with me. China really do have it all to do, don't they?
Yeah, certainly looking for Olympic points now rather than a medal finish. I think that's pretty much out of the picture. But certainly Olympic points up for grabs for Sochi next year. So just start winning a few more games. Did beat Germany early this morning.
Yep, that will have given them that bit of confidence, that bit of a lift, especially facing a team like Sweden who've been going so well. And here's their lead and the scoop, Margarita Sigfridsson. What type of game do you expect, Sandra?
Well, I haven't really been able to see Sweden play too much yet, but they're the ones that are scoring the most points per game on average of all the teams I hear. So certainly I think you'll see them play a bit aggressive. They were looking to throw the corner guard here, but just going to slip into the ring, so we might just see a defensive end here to start off with. But certainly Sweden's going to be pushing for points, while China might just want to be keeping things a bit tight. Might just switch on to the defensive gear. Be a bit cautious. So really down to business here, Sweden. Even after failing and putting up that first corner guard, they're going to throw another one. Not big risk so far, having that first redstone at the back of the tail foot, so forefoot will be open.
But they're in a comfortable position in the round robin, so they can possibly afford to do this.
I think maybe they've just seen China and how they play and not really coping with the difficult shots, so they might just be looking to put as much pressure on the Chinese as possible. And certainly feeling confident after 5 wins.
Your second, Jinshuang Yu. Getting rid of that guard.
Maria Wennerström, second for Sweden, sporting with a cap for the occasion. I haven't really seen that before. I'm guessing it's due to the bright lights we have in the Volvo Sports Centre here. They're quite low, so that's been bugging a few of the players, and we see a lot of people in the stands wearing sunglasses. Hasn't really been a problem for me personally, but I think maybe that's why they're using the caps.
Well, anything that does affect the way they play, even if it's a small thing, is worth addressing. I'm not sure it's a great look. She's not the only one in her team that's doing it. I had a quick word with the Chinese coach, and he says they haven't been far away, but things just haven't been working out for them.
They certainly had a hard start to the week, playing Denmark in the first game. They were 10 points behind after 5 ends. But they have started to play a bit better.
Just looking at the body language, though, of the two teams, and Sweden certainly have a look of business about them, don't they? Up and at it.
Yeah, certainly. You're going to feel confident with 5 ends on the board, just out shooting everyone. Well, you know, they're a good team. And they're looking to have a good week here. Just looking to come around the top red here. And that's a really nice draw by Wennerström. Absolutely perfect. Had to come really tight to that red one to get it buried. So really nice finish on the ice here. Liu with a pretty good run back herself.
It's good to hang about as well.
Now there's not really any cover left for Sweden. They might be looking to either play a freeze or a hit and roll. And they are going to play the freeze, trying to corner, freeze it onto that red stone to the right, which might just angle the yellow back onto the other red if China decides to make a hit on it. This is Christina Bertrup, third player for Sweden. She's topping the stats of third player so far. Been playing very well. And this one's looking pretty close. Just over curls a fraction.
Not a bad effort though. Swedes, of course, world silver medalists last year in Canada, and the Chinese 2009 world champions.
So Yin Liu again here, just trying to wiggle out that Yellowstone, just played by Bertrup. It's going to catch the wrong side of it. It's going to leave Sweden second shot here. Certainly not the way to miss that shot. We're looking to catch that one thin, if anything. Just over curls and leaves that Yellowstone around. Quite a democratic team.
They do a lot of talking, don't they?
Yeah, just making sure they all agree. Especially since Bertrup's not vice skipping, she'll also be a part of the decision making along with Maria Pritz and Sigfridsson. And maybe natural to bring in the last person on the team as well then.
Yeah, you can't leave them out then, can you?
But seems to work out for them. We'll play the nose hit, leaves a double for China, but it's a shot she has to make though. Pinyo Wang.
She'll be disappointed with the results this week. so far. But what better time to get back on track than against one of the favourites here, the world silver medalists.
Well, yeah, she's beaten one world champion today. Played against Andrea Schupp. That was her 100th world championship game. She's quite experienced. So Binyao Wang here looking to start off on a good note with a double.
Nicknamed Betty.
And there we go.
And nicely played.
Made that one perfect. Leaves two reds. I think we might very well see Maria Pitts play the same double. Okay, so just going for the hit and roll here. I guess the double will be an option if you don't get the line for the roll.
So this is the fourth player for Sweden, Maria Pitts, 36 years old.
She's participated in plenty of championships, just very often as the alternate. But in the last couple of years, she's been on the big scene and doing quite well this time. Almost rolling to the perfect spot.
She's a PR manager for the Church of Sweden.
I did not know that.
So I wonder if God is on her side in this game.
So the good thing about the roll from Maria Pitts is it's going to make Binyao Wang try and hit just the inside of this one, not to jam it. And if she ever feels a bit too safe or plays this one too safe, she'll roll out and allow the blank for Sweden. Really want to stick this one around. Keep both the reds, sweeping this one for line. And she's not going to, so that's a bit of a mistake from Binyao Wang. Like he really had a good chance of forcing Sweden to one there. So I think you'll just see Maria Pitts try and peel out the red, roll out, and retain hammer for the second end. Last stone here in first.
So last stone of this first end. This game between China and Sweden. And that is indeed what happens. So the first end is blanked. Sweden retain the hammer. And after the first end, China nil, Sweden nil. So into the second end of our featured game between China and Sweden. We start again.
Bit of a crowd here in the Volvo Sports Centre, even though it's just close to 2 o'clock in the afternoon here in Riga. Latvia is out there playing Russia, so that's why you'll see a lot of people just moving back and forth, moving from the one end to the other as they play back and forth.
Keeps them warm, because it's a bit of a chilly arena. I think it's okay if you're curling. Unfortunately, the home team without a win yet.
Very close to beating Japan, just couldn't quite pull it off in the end. Had a decent game against Canada even.
They are playing Russia out in the arena this afternoon, and then Scotland this evening. So 2 difficult games for the home supporters. Zhu lead for China. They're worried about the weight of this.
Don't necessarily think it's a good idea to come into the rings against Sweden. And just as you see the rules of play, you have to play 6 ends minimum and the round robin stages, and you'll have 73 minutes of playing time per team. If you're ever in trouble, you might call on your coach and have 1 minute of discussion. Oh, just trying to come into the rings here, really not putting any pressure on Sweden. If they just play a couple of shots well, they're going to score too easy. But don't quite do that here, Sigurdsson. Bit of a rare miss from her.
It didn't seem right as soon as she left her hand. Seemed to be up against it.
Well, so this is pretty much what I expected from China. It's to play defensive. They're just going to rip the corner guard here.
You.
So it's going to be pretty open here. And it's the freeze called by Maria Wennerström.
27 years old, 15 years curling. Maria.
Looks like Maria Pritz has skipped off the ice for a few moments. So maybe Maria just overcompensating a wee bit for a lost sweeper on this shot.
Managing not too badly.
Well, little lie in the open. So chance to lie 3 here for China. They're going to try pretty much the same thing as on the previous end. Just try and lie a couple and force Sweden to take their one.
Well, the Chinese play out of Harbin Curling Club.
Harbin was a city that hosted the Winter University Games in 2009. Nicholas Edin won that over Norway in the final. And they had about 100 million viewers that week. And the Asian teams are really, sorry, the Asian countries are really appreciating the curling.
Yeah, there's a phenomenal media entourage with Japan here this week. And China's the same. Big year for all the curlers with the Olympics coming up.
I just talked about them earlier, Japan having just plenty of TV crews and dozens of journalists every time they're on the ice practicing. Big interest in curling. over there. So it's nice to see. And hopefully they'll be doing well.
Let's see, Xander, what's happening elsewhere in the arena. On sheet C, Italy against Canada in the first end.
This is Diana Gaspari, skip of Italy. Not having the greatest week so far, but now a chance to score a couple against big favourites Canada. That was a miss from Rachel Holman with her last, leaving this shot. Nose hit for 2.
So early lead for the Italians, just with the 2 wins so far. Back to our featured game. It's undefeated Sweden against China with just the 1 win on the board. No scores yet. And there's the Swedish coach, Henrik Hallström, and the alternate,
Agnes Knockenhauer. From what I've been told, this will be the team representing Sweden at the Olympics in Sochi. Not sure if that's completely official, but that's what I've been told from plenty of sources.
They are so experienced, though. Catch is 1.
Yeah, you'll see, even though Sweden are aggressive, they want to keep that centre line open. Just make sure they're to do this week after losing the first 5 games. That's a pretty neat draw there.
A lot of stones in play.
这球这角度吧，磕了一下还有点闹心，你知道吗？ Kan tänka mig den! Eller den! Eller bara den! Vi får komma in i mitten. Det kan bli jävligt låst här om vi fryser den. Kom lite snabbt innan.
So just calling down Christina Bertrup here to have a look.
Jaha, den ligger före. Ja. Ja, jag har bara en frysa på utsidan av den. Ja.
So well,
Hur blir
Sweden
den då?
just discussing this shot. We're going to nip over to sheet D. Switzerland playing Scotland. Big game for both at 4 wins so far. That's even your head here in the first end. Looking to score a few. Need to bump this red one out and keep the shooter. Does that quite well. And they're off to a good start with 2 points against Switzerland in the first end here. And back to our sheet. I think Sweden has made that decision.
Still chatting a wee bit.
It's Bertrup telling sweepers what they're planning to do and why they are doing it.
And that is?
I'm not quite sure yet. I think they might be playing a nose hit on the back right here. Not quite sure why though. Does roll and bounces off their own. Nice shot stone there. I guess that was a plan, just to force China to make a shot now. Just to put some pressure back onto Binyu Wang.
Is that the right decision then from the Swedes?
Not quite sure. They were looking to maybe run in the corner guard. That would open up the outturn draw, which could be a good idea. This really locks things in for them. but certainly asks a question of Binyu Wang.
往那儿投一个，往那儿粘一个。线路要好的话轻磕一下，线路要不好的话就往前头给它封上也行。OK。
In general, you like to keep your stones in front of the tee line, so you leave yourself a bit more options. So Binyu Wang is either just looking for the straight freeze onto the yellow, or maybe bumping her own red. Looks like they are playing the freeze. Looking high at the moment. Sweepers want to go, but just don't have the line yet. That's not necessarily a bad option. It's not really easy to see how Sweden's going to get to the Chinese second shot. They might just have to open things here.
Behöver man för fart på det då? Vad tror ni för fart på speltrycken? 50 kanske? 50? Vad sa du? 40 tror jag om vi ska orka. Kanske 55 räcker. Har inte varit mycket fart. 40. 50 minst. 40 och 5.
Just discussing the split time here actually.
Det är ganska långt. Jag tror vi behöver 40.
Yeah, I recognize some numbers in there.
40, that would be 3 seconds, 3.40 seconds from backline to hog. They're actually going to go for a big shot here, tapping this yellow one up onto the red. Just with a backline weight, back weight. She can never make this one good, and they'll be sitting pretty.
Maria Pritz makes these shots all the time, but we're in a world championship.
Yeah, this one's really tough, but just not getting the line. Goes right past. Played the right weight according to the sweepers. Just either flicked that one a little bit, or couldn't quite get the broom in the right place.
Right weight, so what went wrong?
Yeah, either just too much ice, or she just maybe flicked it out a little bit, or maybe just the wrong weight indicated. Wrong split time.
So what does this mean for China?
Well, right now, Sweden is left the same shot. So you might want to put one more stone in there. Could play the in-turn draw and just come on top of your own red. Now they just might be guarding that raise for Maria Pritz. I think I like this call. Certainly if you guard the yellow, Maria Pritz can only run a red stone in for a maximum score of 2. But there is a stone just close to the bumper there on the wide wing. Might just be an option for Pritz. Firstly, let's just see where this settles down. And finds an excellent spot.
Yep. That will do the job.
That's the one I was talking about. That's on there. It's pretty flat. You need to catch it pretty thick. You might just even spin off your own shot stone and make it.
Halv eller lite tjockare om
pretty tough, but I think it's worth a go. Going to be pretty unlucky to give up one here. Might just be the straight roll to the 1 foot to score 2. Could play this on the out turn just to get a flatter line. So second end, big shot called by Maria Pitts, lying one at the moment. Just trying to come off this wide one. Going hard for line. Too thick. It's going to be a 1 for Sweden.
So after the first 2 ends, Sweden have scored as much as they would have wanted. It's China 0, Sweden 1.
现在咱打一打边区，场地滑，注意点扫人判断，然后完了注意大家交流一下啊。来，1、2，加油！
So we're into the third end of our featured game between China and Sweden. Live coverage from the Titlis Glacier Mountain World Women's Curling Championship, coming to you live from the Volvo Sports Centre here in Riga, Latvia. You're listening to commentary from Alison Walker and Sandra Robak.
So far, I think we've seen Sweden be trying to be aggressive, just not really pulling off the shots to score. China's been quite defensive, but now with the last stone, we're going to try and put up the corner guard. But just a big mistake, slipping into the rings here. Same thing that happened in the first end, when Sweden tried to get some stones in play.
Let's see how Latvia are faring against Russia in the second end. They won up after the first.
Skip Anna Sidorova here. That chance to score 3, I think. Looks like there was one red stone there. Just needs to remove. Needs to avoid the jam here. Does that quite brilliantly. And it will be a score of 3 for Russia, leading the game 3 shots to 1 after 2 ends. So I'm very happy that China has called the corner guard again. So pretty much the exact same start to the end as we had in the first. Just that China has last on this time. And Sweden has their shot in the top of the 4, not the back 12, meaning they can just throw the center guard here. Could have played this a bit more careful and just peeled off the corner. Maybe force China to take their one back. But again, just going to apply some pressure on the Chinese.
för. Eller?
Ja, 75.
Bra. Och 78.
Ja.
Bra, Maja.
11秒12秒11秒52秒 Yes, okay, 踩踩腰 Yes 嗨 Wow 踩踩腰 Wow
It's got to be close, this one. Off and on the whole way down. Looking to roll to the wing. Doesn't quite do that. We have a quite short hit and roll back for Maria Wennerström. Not sure if they totally agree there. Chinese, if they're looking to roll the wing or beneath the centre guard. That was a bit too far.
Yep, just over the line there.
Might have been better popping out the other side. You've left this hit and roll towards the corner guard for China.
Yep, catching the guard.
Yeah. Well, keeps the shooter around. It was open the centre line, so not awful there by Shin Zhang Yu. But they're going to have to do some work if they want to score 2 here.
Lite där. 78. Tror 85-90 på dig, Nina.
Ja, det tror jag är bra.
That would be the Swedish Curling Federation logo on the cap of Christina Bertrup.
Wennerström om något. Ensam 12. Ja. Vart är vi? 12. Fight. Fight.
Very strong curling nation.
They have plenty of good teams back home to play against. It's like that both on the men's and women's side. That's a nice guard.
They also have a Swedish Curling Academy as well. Youngsters can curl and be educated at the same time.
Vad var den? 70-80. 70-80.
There we go.
Lu, nicely played.
Wonder if they were looking for the straight run back, but it was a good line call by Binyo Wang to make the slash instead. That was maybe the best option. Keeps the centre open. It's going to scare Sweden a little bit. Now they're not lying to, so going to go for the hit on the white red. Not sure if she can see all of it here. Just a clean pick from Sweden.
Lu's second stone. She enjoys speed skating as well as curling, so she's a fit girl.
That's not going to help her here though. Not being able to remove the yellow even.
Sorry, det är det.
Tycker du att det där är bättre kan vi dra dit. Det är lite svårt att lägga lite trappa på de där. Liksom. Kanske lätta att bygga av den där. Man vill inte lägga här. Utan man vill ligga så att man inte kan frysa. Kanske är bättre att gå dit, Maggan. Jag gillar den där också. Ja, 65 var ju dina där. Kanske bättre att sprida ut dem lite. Jag hade ju den där isen när det var längre ut, men nu är garden lite högre. Ja. Tror vi 65-70 på dig där? Ja, 70. Elias var ju 65 som vi drog på 10. Jag tror 70. Ja, det är nästan 75. 70 tror jag är bra. Ska jag se bra. Den är bakom 10 tror jag. Bakom 10. Bak 8. Ska vi ta den jämnt? Eller? Bak 12. Den är ganska lång. Nästan igenom. Ja, det är lite risk. Vi kör Maggan. Kör. Kom igen. Kom igen. Räcker det? Ja, det är väl...
Not quite being able there to keep that stone in front of the tee line. Here's a chance for Binyuang to come after it. Probably brought it deep enough though. If Binyuang ever freezes onto it, I think Sweden can just do the same and lie a shot that way. Pretty close here. Really working this one. It will be shot.
I didn't think it was going to get as far as that.
Probably wanted to be a bit closer to the center line, but it's a nice shot there. Very well swept by the whole team.
Curls a bit too much at the end, doesn't it? Swings a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't leave the perfect angle for them. Well, again, Maria Pitts needs to make this shot. If she's ever a touch heavy, just slides past. It's a draw for 2, so gotta make this one. Came a bit deep without any sweeping on our first one. Now again, sweepers backing off it. Not sure if they have the line here. Can't really do much. Had the weight there, just not the line. Not sure what happened. Maybe just... Okay, so Bertrup and Mannerström just agreeing on that. That was a different release from Maria Pitts there. A bit more rotation, just popped it a bit more maybe. So there's a good chance to score 2 here. And you'll see that I'm going to take quite a bit of ice. I'm just going to play the heavy draw onto having just played this line.
And Bingo Wang uses the delivery support there. How does that help?
It's not something she's always used, so I'm guessing it's just to keep her shoulders level.
The last stone of this third end.
Maybe just overthrew this one a little bit, looking quite pacey.
Looking a bit speedy.
No.
But she's okay. She's okay.
So score 2 for China. Well, they lead the game 2 shots to 1 after 3. Not really what I expected, but I think it's good for the game.
Yep, they've stepped up to the mark, the Chinese. After 3 ends, it's China 2, Sweden 1.
So back in action here in the Volvo Sports Centre. Just saw China scored 2 in the 3rd end. And if Sweden seemed aggressive.
Chinese played that in well. That'll give them a lift. The skip, tournament accuracy, Margarita, 78%. Certainly one dodgy shot in the last end.
70%. That keeps her quite down in the rankings at 9th place.
The rest of the team up to the mark, though, obviously. Whereas Yan Zhu, the Chinese lead, is 86%. So
yeah, she's topping the stats of lead player so far this week, actually.
So it's not the lead that's been going wrong for the Chinese. But these stats can change so quickly. And this looks a tasty shot.
I think she was looking for the freeze there, can't quite make it. We're going to hop over to sheet, see it's Italy playing Canada. Quite the messy end by the looks of it. Canada being able to score 2 back.
2-2 at the moment.
It's Diana Gaspari here. Doing some up weight. Not quite sure what she can produce here. It's a double she was looking for. Can't quite stick the shooter, but it does look like they're going to score one. So still a lead for the Italians after three ends here. 3 shots to 2. And China lying 2 here on our sheet. It's the double called by Sigfridsson. Maria Wennerström, 86%. So far, she's 2nd overall, just behind Alison Kraviazek of Canada. Makes a good shot here, double and roll to the wing.
And the yellow still hangs about.
秒59秒。
And Shang Yu, 79%, the Chinese second. Pretty decent start for her. No set on the yellow. And sticks.
Har vi lite mer fart på dig nu? Ser inte så hård ut. Kan leka på 10 kanske. Känns som den är bakom nu. Lite vid. Bakåt där.
Jag tar nästan risk.
Dra den om ni kan.
Ja, det är risk på den.
Ja, men om den inte är ute så
Ja,
dra
det
bara.
är risk. Risk, Maria.
Långt ner.
Jag tycker nästan den är ute.
Jag tror inte den är ute.
Let's see, meantime, how Latvia are faring against Russia on sheet A. 3-1 up Russia.
Oh, five yellows on the house for Russia. This is not the first time that Iveta Stasas-Arsuni has been left with a draw against a bundle.
She really needs to be careful here. This is an important shot.
Has the whole forefoot, but certainly a bit scary facing all those yellows. Sweeper's not really touching it. Anna Fedorova warming up her brush, but it's not going to be
Safely done. And it's now Russia 3, Latvia 2 after 3. We're in the fourth end of our game. And it's 2-1 to China over Sweden.
Jag tror inte vi får ut den på 30.
Vi kommer inte få träff på något annat heller. Se vad en får i sig.
30. Garnen är väl där mellan.
Ja, lite till.
Stina Bertrups, that's a good 86%, the Swedish third.
Yeah.
She's a very consistent player, isn't she, Sandra?
Yeah, very consistent, and as I mentioned earlier in the game, she's topping the stats. A good 3% ahead of Scottish Anna Sloan in second. So she's really being superb this week. Probably a key player to Sweden's success. Can't quite make this shot. Option B though, slides in behind cover.
Catches the guard, but not a bad end result. The other yellow helping her along the way.
Yin Lu at 73, certainly looking to improve those numbers. She's 10th overall so far this week of 12 teams in the World Championship. She's not going to improve here though. It's going to pull up way short. She's staggered the centre guards as well, providing decent cover for Sweden. So if they ever can maybe come to the inside of the red shot stone here.
Känns som Tom vibrerar en lite tidigare så har vi den.
Well, maybe a bit ambitious from that point of view. Applying a bit of weight here. I'm not quite sure if they can come to nose. Really needed to either come to the inside or roll to the wing there. Just kind of in between shots, leaving a chance for Binyuang to come out of the end.
Yep, that yellow quite exposed there.
She's taking a lot more ice, probably playing a softer rate, trying to control the line with her sweepers. It's not the first time that Sweden's been sucked into playing around the centre guard with last stone. Hasn't really worked for them. Scored one this way in the second. Now Binny Wang might just set herself up for a steal here. And makes an excellent shot. Even moves that yellow to third or fourth, I think. Looks like China's lying 1 and 3.
Yep, the Chinese looking good in this end at the moment.
Jag tänker komma så snabbt som möjligt och trycka den, ligga 2 där i framkant. Men det är ganska långt tryck i och för sig det.
Ja, det funkar också.
Nu ska vi öppna garderna. Då kommer inte de kunna garda båda.
Alternativet är ju att spela en mjuk och bara trycka ut den i ljuset.
De kommer inte kunna garda sprätten och trycken för oss.
För där öppna garderna. Jag tycker det är värt att prova
Looking
att
to
gå
either
från där,
come on the out turn, try and tap this one back. Just can't really see too much of the yellow. The other option just peeling the guards and hoping that they're going to be left with a shot to score 2. The peeling the guards not really a simple shot either. So I think they're looking to come on down to the yellow. You can't really see much of that one. I guess the option here is going to be wrecking on the guard, exposing the yellow a bit more. If you're really lucky, you might redirect onto the winger as well.
Maria's 86%.
Yeah, that's going to put her on the top of the stats of 4th players.
Throwing the skip stones. Apart from that one that she threw through, I think she's been pretty solid.
There we go, another great shot. Couldn't really do much more than that.
Yep. Made it look easy.
That was not an easy shot, but yeah, certainly looked that way.
Of course, the rest of our team just expects her to make those. So, what's Mingyu Wang going to come up with?
14秒，这边得14秒力量，比那边这边稍微涩一点。
She's a wee bit down, Xander, 75%.
Yeah, only ahead of Latvian skip Iveta Stasas-Ursuni. She'll also have to up her game a wee bit. I'm guessing she's had a few tough shots as well, but remember, she didn't really have a great start against Denmark. This draw is just looking wide and short. It's going to leave the whole 8-foot for Maria Pritz to score 2.
Yep, that's disappointing for China. It should be fairly straightforward for Maria Pritz.
75. 70 tror jag sitter också. Ja. Jag har 80 också, så att däremellan någonstans. Absolut. Tänker att det är nästan bättre att hålla ner lite så ni får sopa.
She's played a couple of draws in this game. You'd expect her to have found her draw weight by now. Last stone of the 4th end. Looking to grab the lead with a score of 2 here. Maria Pritz will join in the sweeping. This might just look a bit short, certainly does from here. Can be hold it
We're
up.
having to work hard at this one.
Oh,
It's not going to make it.
oh, maybe.
Or is it?
I think it's enough, Alison.
Vi har två. Vi har två.
I think the Chinese want to
We're having a good look.
Yep.
Gud vad långt det ska komma.
Oh, it's close. It's close. Definitely one counting for Sweden, but is it two?
You have agreed. It's going to be two, so just enough. It was a good thing Maria Pitts joined in the sweeping there, I think.
That millimetre that it took to get that bit closer. So after 4 ends, Sweden edge into the lead. Sweden 3, China 2.
Kom igen, så länge. Snart ner kan. In helt. Ska bara ta nära. Jobba för nära. Ja. Bra Maggan. 80. 77 hade jag också. Ja.
The guard's going up in this 5th end.
Lite tajt fart. Bara fart. Gärna ta den. Bra Mikael. Bara fart. Ja! Helst inte. Bara fart. Bara fart. Bara fart. Bara fart. Vänta. Jättefin linje. Ja, på 10. Just bakom. Hoppning kan. Nej, ingenting. Inte ett drag. Sitt nu då. Bra spelat. Fint Maggan. Bra spel. Härligt. Bra Maggan.
On sheet D, we have Switzerland against Scotland. 2-1 to Scotland. We're in the 4th end. And it's the skip Eve Muirhead with the final stone. All going wrong for Scotland there. Shaking her head.
Yeah, Switzerland's going to steal one there. So it's all tied up now. But Scotland's going to keep last on. They play the 5th as we speak.
Okej, vi kan ta den om du vill. Det är okej. Du vill inte ta ändra någon andra. Va? Du vill inte ta ändra någon andra. Det är okej. Det ser bra ut Maggan på det, tycker jag. Jag tycker också det. Min 90 var ju liksom hela hundra. Ja, jag är inte orolig, jag bara undrar vad som var rätt slag. 10. Okej.
Looks like they're going after the headstone in the house here. We thought they were just going to peel off the corner. But no problem from Maria Wennerström. So easy when you have players of this caliber.
Yep, she made that look easy too.
I guess the reason why they were looking to remove the red one is because that red corner guard is pretty far from the house, so not the best spot for China. Didn't want to leave them a chance to put up a better one. So it's a run double here. Just waiting for this one to sneak over.
Okay.
Not quite going to make it. So we're going to hop over to sheet A. It's Latvia playing Russia. And this time, it looks like Anna Sedrova is left with a hit for 3 once again. This one maybe a bit easier than the one she played in the second. Just keep this one around. Doesn't look like a problem. And Russia scores another 3, 6 shots to 2 after 4.
So Latvia up against it again, still looking for their first win in this championship. We're watching China against Sweden, 3-2 to the Swedes, and we're into the 5th end.
Just waiting for line here. Just want to keep it alive at the end to get some extra finish. But doesn't really seem that like it's in behind cover. Just maybe a whole piece. Should be quite possible for Yin Liu to maybe even come to the inside of this one. Not quite going to do that. Leaves it in the open, and on sheet C, it's Italy playing Canada. Italy with that 1 point lead, but now it looks like Rachel Homan has a big chance to score 3. A bit of a panic here. Maybe not. Just cleaning this one. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be 3 for Canada. There we go. And they'll hop into a 5 shots to 3 lead. Not looking too happy.
That was a nice 3 for the Canadians. Five, 3 up. 3-2 here in our featured game to Sweden. Goes a wee bit too far. Sweden undefeated in the round robin so far. They've had some convincing victories as well, including one over Scotland, one of the favourites. An absolute trouncing for the Scots.
Yeah, 11-2 was the scoreline in the end. And they also beat Switzerland 9-0.
They've had a very good run, played some good stuff.
Had to play an extra end against USA yesterday though. Ended up giving up a steal of 2 in the 10th. But made sure to win it in the extra. It's the best round they've had so far of the Worlds. So I'm certainly going to pin them as favourites. Just knowing that fact. Yet to play Canada though. That could be a very interesting game.
Canada on 3-2 at the moment and looking good for a win over Italy.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, China plays Sweden. No, sorry, Canada plays Sweden just later tonight. Back-to-back games for both Sweden and Canada.
So Bingu Wang would dearly like to finish these first 5 ends on a high. Go into the break, confident.
Okay, good sweeping. 力量大吗？力量大吗？力量不大，是点再稍微小一点啊。小一点。小爽那个下太快了，我还嫌这个很大。点再稍微小一点。
Va? Mycket att stanna bakom där så. Det är konstigt att den här stannar förut. Oj. Alltså. Lurv. Vilken fart? 80. Yes.
So looking for the hit and roll back. I think you just got to be a bit careful with the jam there at the back though. Could potentially stick their red one onto the back yellow. If they lie in the open, that will very quickly leave a hit for 2. I think actually they were looking to roll towards the corner guard, knowing that stone is in the back. That lies in the open. That's the only stone in the house. And we're down to the very last shot for Bingu Wang. And she's just going to peel this away and blank the end.
And she'll be perfectly happy to go into the break in that kind of state, Sander, won't she?
Yeah, I think so.
Last stone of this 5th end from the Chinese skip. It hangs about.
Yeah, that's not really what she was looking for there. Not the best way to end the first half of the game, but it will be a score of 3 each after 5 as both teams will head into the halftime break. Fredrik Alström, coach of Sweden, already down to talk to the girls. And Agnes Knockenhauer's bought them some fruit and drinks. Looking back to the second end after the first one being blanked. It's Maria Pitts going wide here with the in-off line one already. Could potentially score 3 here with a perfect shot. Trying to hold the line, but it's just going to be too thick, and Sweden scores 1. In the third, it's Binyu Wang with a chance to score a couple. The freeze attempt by Maria Pitts just couldn't curl enough, and it's tap back for 2. Asked by China, and they make it. Scores 2 in the lead after 3. In the fourth end, really nice shot by Maria Pitts to set them up for this deuce. With the outturn draw now, just need a piece of the outfit really to score 2. Big team scrub to bring it there, and it doesn't really look like she's going to make it, but just keeps it alive, and it's just an inch, if so, close enough to score 2. And after 5, it's 3 each. I'm going to hop over to Switzerland, Scotland in the 5th end after giving up a steal in the 4th. Seems like Eve Muirhead now has an open hit to score 2.
It's been a very, very close game, this one.
A big game for both teams, especially Switzerland, with 2 losses. Eve's going to make this one look easy. Scores 2, and they have a 2-point lead halfway through the game.
So the Scots going to their break in the lead as we check on the other scores. On sheet A, Latvia 3, Russia 6 after 5, Italy 3, Canada 5 after 5 as well in the break, and it's Switzerland 2, Scotland 4 as we've just seen heading into the break.
Nej, vet du, det var på Continental.
Annars har hon känt igen det.
Ja, jag känner inte heller det. Då var det nog. Härligt.
Härligt tjejer, jävlar.
Där ser vi 5 timmar. Då skulle vi ha lite mera näsdukar. Jag kan jaga.
Some big high fives around for the Swedes. Just about 50 seconds away from the 6th end now as we take a look at the stats. It's 3 each, and the percentage wise it's pretty close. Sweden just outscoring China by that 1%, and it has been a close game so far. Not really too much to divide the teams by so far, so those last 5 ends might just be very interesting.
Checking the stats there. Chinese supporters. I don't think they'll be too disappointed with their team's performance so far. Volvo Sports Arena.
Okej. Jag kör. 65 är det eller? 65 ja. 60-65 tror jag. Det är 63. Yes.
1% for Sigfridsson so far in the game. Better numbers than we've seen on average so far this week.
Slightly down actually, I think.
Visst var jag lite innanför på förra?
Ja, undset. Verkligen få linjen liksom. Nästan samma då. 65. 70 har vi där.
Just playing the in-turn draw here. Trying to sit on top of their own shot zone.
Freeze in there.
Frys är jättebra.
Bra, snyggt. Härligt Maggan.
65.
Bra där, snyggt.
Bra snack Maria.
Bra. Bra skott.
Pretty good there. Good shot. Sets 2. I think you might just we'll just see China try and come to the inside, maybe just bump them up a wee bit. Just get to nose on the yellow relay.
So what will the respective coaches have been saying at the break? Firstly, to Sweden.
I think both the coaches will be reasonably happy. For Sweden, just keep on doing what you're doing. And just hoping you'll get a better chance of scoring big. Just a couple of shots missed, really. And for China, it's pretty much the same. They've been probably doing better than they've done so far this week. So
Haven't made too many mistakes.
oh, this is a really nice shot. It's exactly what they were looking for.
Är det fram?
Right against the yellow there.
Nej, 4.
Emot.
So again, it's Sweden just been sucked into the forfeit play here with last stone. Certainly, instead of playing the freeze onto their own yellow, they could play the hit on the back one, just to make things a bit simpler for them. Really closes up the scoring area for them, and you want leave a good chance to score one in the end if it's all clogged up. 68% for Maria Wennerström.
For this game, only for this game. Just missed a couple, but not.
Not sure if I would guess those numbers.
This is looking quite good though.
Yeah, here we go. Perfect spot.
Couldn't get much better than that.
Really seems some good shots here in this end.
Fint spel.
They called the run back here. Want to make sure to come to nose here and lead the centre guard up. Oh, here we go. That's pretty good. It was hard to do much better than that.
There is a smile.
Tycker vi kan runda på en till paus eller? Slå de där gula och sprida ut oss lite. Tycker runda på en till. Vicka in på deras.
So while they're thinking about that, let's check on sheet C, Italy against Canada. Fifth end, Canada 5-3 up.
Rachel Holman and our Canadian team lying 3 at the moment. Diana Gaspari just pressured into playing this drop to score 1.
She's had a few of these to make, hasn't she?
Yeah, could see she played these shots in the previous end as well. Didn't quite have her draw weight. Now a bit of a panic on the sweep. Needs to drag this one down to the 8 foot. Apollonio vice skip out to help as well. Really swinging. Certainly didn't get the line they were wanting, but it's just going to be enough to score 1. Wow, not sure what happened there.
That's close to yes, but they've agreed. And it is 1 to the Italians. So it's Canada 5, Italy 4 in that one. Back to our featured game. 3-3, we're into the 6th end. And in terms of quality of shots, Xander, this has, in terms of the quality, this has probably been one of the best ends.
Yep, so far. Let's hope it continues. Spending some time on the shot here, Sweden. Just so much harder playing along the centre line than we have last stone. Just really have to think twice about every shot you make.
It's a good test though, isn't it? Good test.
Makes a really nice roll, but well, slipping behind the T-line leaves a nice pocket for China. I think they should just freeze this one.
Tuck themselves in there nicely, can't they? To get it right. It's a good view of the Vol Sports Arena there. It's normally ice hockey, just an amateur ice hockey. Opened in 2005.
Yin Liu here with potential end changer. Sweden lying 3, but this freeze could prove very important. Don't want to bounce off anything here, really. Just lock it straight on in between the L's. Barely gets inside. Not too bad there, actually.
Just a couple of inches further, maybe.
I don't think Sweden will be able to remove that red in one shot anyway.
Always a way, Xander. There's always a way in curling. It amazes me sometimes.
Lite mjukare då. 20 då. 20.
Nina's game accuracy 95%. She has not put a stone wrong. I hope we haven't jinxed her now, but she's played some great stuff.
We'll squeeze it through. Not too bad there. Does open it up a wee bit, but
kom så konstigt in hårt allihop. Skönt att få lösvikt som det var bra. Luckra upp det precis. Trodde aldrig man kunde få alla att gå så där. Nu ligger det lite öppet. 角度，粘哪儿？
现在这两个球，他现在都有找的球，但现在这面这个红球现在都比他们这个近，现在也就算是空分，反正那个红球。但是现在这球就往上头这块来一个，看给他做一个相关球也行。然后完了选一个。
应该比较好一些。这个球先不着急，先在那边待着。
那个球不用，那球不能碰。他打甩，打甩也是后区，对方也在这旋转。
往这来一个吧。
往前头来一个，可以。
So what are they thinking here?
From where they're pointing, looks like they're going to draw the top of the 4 here. I think that's a good call. Just probably afraid of leaving a double back to Sweden. There's plenty of yellows in there now, but their saver at the moment is probably that stone frozen on top. All that shot stone in the forefoot. It's going to be really hard for Sweden to remove that, so not necessarily too much risk here. Trying to put the stone in an awkward spot for the Swedes. Pulls up a bit short, but again, not too terrible.
Could still be a bit of a nuisance, couldn't it?
Yeah, and Sigfridsson has called a draw right onto the 1 foot.
About the second stone.
Probably don't want to come all the way down to the red. Well, they are going to, so we'll again leave a freeze.
再选一个。
站到这个位置的话，他也不太敢打。
对，是。还得再来一个。这点就行，还是这点就行。他那是多少力量签了吗？14秒，14秒5哈。
It's a busy house. Whose game accuracy, certainly for this game, has gone up. She has played well in this. Definitely upped it. The girls are having to work hard here.
这个下线擦好了哈。点线差一点。
Verkligen få halvvinna köp blir ju en bra fart. 20. Så köpa räcker? 20. Ja. Men det är ganska viktigt att få den köp ju. Ja, precis. Det är tajt på insidan när den ligger på framform. Ja.
You see it all very tight, very close.
Centimeter va?
Still an opportunity for Sweden.
Det är inte mycket luft eller? Nej. Det är 20 för den. Jag tror inte knappast vi får någon insida eller? Nej. Chappen med 20 räcker eller? Chapp då.
Pretty much edge to edge these reds here. No one at the top of the 12, and the one they're trying to make contact with.
20 då.
Just trying to come to knows as much as possible. And might leave them sitting a couple. 79% so far for Pritz. But hanging wide. Will squeeze that red one out, so a good shot by Pritz. They sit 3 now. Binny Wang not quite being able to put that freeze in the right spot with her first one. And now she will face some trouble.
Important shot from her now. Trying to restrict how many Sweden will get here. What the combinations for doing that, Xander?
Maybe this bit might be the shot. Play the double off the right one here. If you make it, nice shot, and yes, you will leave pretty easy angled race for 2. I'm going to call the timeout here. Or coach interaction, which is now called. They will stop the clock for the coach to make his way down to the ice, but when he finally comes down there, their clock will start to run again. They'll have 1 minute to talk with their coach.
对，其实我觉得这样打甩也行。这个咱就不争了。要这球打定。打定他还有边上那个球。就拿那个球就行，打往里靠呗。把这打靠来了，可以稍微大点劲儿，没准挤一下那个能过来呢。或者打边上这个也行。对，要不就是打这个球。 打这个也行，下这个然后往这甩。
Coming down.
就是打这边这个俩，看哪个行。那个打这个是我好一点。这个他俩有点斜角，那个有点平。打这个。打这个也够。这就正好过来打到这块儿。打到一半就行，正好够。嗯。 行 ，OK。这边贴弧就行吧，行，9秒。
Oh, looks like they call the shots in off of the left one. So we're just going to try and catch this one pretty thin. Spring over to the shot stone. Actually playing it this way, you might stick the shot stone on the red one at the very back. Might just set up a jam for Sweden. It's kind of hard to anticipate what's going to happen here. Just 1 inch to the right or left, and it's a whole different scenario.
Yeah. Maybe one throw, but a whole load of things could happen.
Just got to be close with this one. Catch it thin, roll in there. Tight flying maybe. Brings it past and spins up, and that's exactly what I was thinking. That yellow one at the back now might be a problem for Sweden. Might be difficult to squeeze that one out. That's a very nice shot by Binny Wang.
She could have done much better than that. That was good stuff.
Just looking to spin her red one just up a wee bit to angle it up, and she did. It'd be nice to spin an inch more, but I'm just being very greedy. Yeah.
Still beautifully played. The stones worked for her.
Well, I haven't quite been able to see what Sweden is left with here. That red one might just go on to the yellow one at the back, but if you catch this top yellow with some weight on the high side, it might just spring off for a score of, well, maybe just 2.
Jag tänkte spela clearingen. Ja, det är helt okej. Absolut 2 tycker jag.
So last stone of the 6th end. It's been quite the interesting end. Many stones in play, and it's all going to be finished off with this shot here.
Yeah. What are Sweden going to end up with here?
I know it will jam the red one, and Sweden scores 1. What a shot by Ben Wang to save the end there.
Yeah, that was all down to Wang's shot. It means Sweden only get the 1, and after 6 ends, it's China 3, Sweden 4.
平心而论，一个球一个球咬得挺紧的了，但对方处理的确实也处理得很好，所以咱现在呢
So we're good to go in the 7th end here. It's Margareta Sigfridsson just drawing the top of the 4, but looking a bit heavy, going to slip to the back. Now Sweden and China, they did spend plenty of time in that end. For Sweden, they now have just less than 7 minutes per end left, so might need to think about that. Usually you like 7 minutes per end.
It's still enough if they just keep it up.
Yeah, we certainly can't afford to play too many ends like the 6th. Be nice to keep things a bit simpler.
Okay.
Will China follow a similar strategy in this end?
No, I think they're going to try and keep the play a bit away from the centre line. Not getting sucked into that forfeit play. I want to make sure to have a chance to score now that they have last stone. You know, I think this is a bit of a dodgy call from Sweden. I've seen them done this before. Not sure what they're going to gain by doing it. They're coming around the corner. Well, they're not going to. They're actually going to spring back onto the centre line, which isn't horrible. As we take a look at sheet A, it's Anna Sidorova being faced with a couple of Latvian stones in there. I think she's calling the run back. Could very well score a couple if she makes it perfect, but it's a tough shot here. Really working it for line. She's going to make contact and take off one red.
No touch?
Oh, okay.
So
What happened there?
well, we have something called the free guard zone, and you're not allowed to take off the guard with your lead shots. I guess Ben Wang just forgot that rule and kicked his stone away, but Sigfridsson certainly wanted to put that one back. Bit of a mistake there, and Sweden has a chance to clog up the center line here. It would be nice to come around the center. But Maria Wennerström doesn't have enough weight on this shot.
67. Ja, 66.
And as I expected, you won't see Benny Wang play around too much along the center line. Just going to open it up. Keep things a bit more simple. And maybe utilize her corner guard in the end. That's a nice shot there. And I wonder if Sweden's going to take off the corner. We're in the 7th, so they might not do. As we see Switzerland play Scotland on sheet D. It looks like Scotland might be lying 2 here. And Tirinzoni will be looking to play the nose hit. Score 1. Oh, this is hanging away though. Needs to catch some curl. Will it be enough? They'll make contact. But it's not going to remove the yellow. A big mistake from Tirinzoni, and Scotland steals 2 here. So 6 shots to 2 after 7.
Yep, it's a bad miss. Now the Swiss skip. Back in our featured game. China against Sweden. It's been a good game, been a tough, competitive game so far.
China really stepping up against the undefeated Swedes. That's the problem sometimes when you're winning games or you're the favourite before a tournament starts. Teams will really step up to play their best against you. China did play the corner guard, but we're in the 7th end, and it would not be an horrible option to blank the end here for China. That way you keep last on in the 8th end, and that way you'll have hammer twice in 8th and 10th, allowing Sweden only to have hammer in 9th. So having the chance to blank here, I think is really good for China. You haven't seen too many teams play the scoreboard like that, scoring in the even ends so far this week. I thought maybe Sweden was doing that, but they did come into the rings with their first shot, so apparently they weren't not concerned with China blanking it. I think the only upside for Sweden is they'll save some time on this end.
Superlätt på slutet. 8-4. 4-10. 4. Nära där. 10. Just bakom 10. 4. Just bakom. Mitt på eller 65 eller? Ja Maria, fint. Sa du? 65. 69. Ja Maria.
滑没有50秒，打电还是？
Just swapping stones here.
So we're down to the last stone of the 7th end. It's just been Yuang throwing this one through. Just blanking this one. And they will have last stone in the 8th end.
So job done in that end. They've saved some time. They have the last stone, the Chinese, and after 7, it's China 3, Sweden 4.
So this is the scoreline after 7 ends. Been quite the tight game. China now has last stone, being 1 point down on Sweden.
We're having to work hard here. They're okay.
75? Ja, 73. Det ser okej. 全力啊，插进来！往下踩一踩哈！顶点线，顶点线。Go go go！ OK， 好吃。
Already, the tactics entirely different from the previous end. Here's a comparison of the two leads. Sigurdsson upped her game, was you a bit more behind. 3% to 75%.
Jag hörde dig. Ja. Där i bakgrunden. Vill inte att ni ska snacka. Okej.
Varsågod.
On sheet A, we'll go for an update. Latvia against Russia. The host nation looking for their first win up against their great rivals Russia. 6-4 to Russia at the moment, and the last stone from the Russian skip Anna Sitarova.
Den var bra den.
Oh, a big miss from Anna Sitarova.
That looks like 2 to Latvia, and they pulled level. Incredible stuff. The Latvian supporters enjoying that one.
A big miss from Sitarova there. Just overthrew it. Couldn't even remove one red. So level over there. 1 point lead for Sweden over here on our future game. You'll see you outscoring Wennerström by 9%. Just our draw weight, Wennerström hasn't been really up to scratch in this game.
This is live coverage from the Titlis Glacier Mountain World Women's Curling Championship. We're live from the Volvo Sports Centre in Riga. Catches the guard.
Yeah, that was not really an option. Didn't really move that centre.
Jag måste göra det. Ja. 60 eller mer. 55 tror jag. Ja, 55.
Sigfridsson has called the tap here from Wennerström. Let's see if she can improve on her draw weight. Against a perfect line, just a bit heavy. Oh, well, I shot there. Oh, yeah, that works out. Removes 2 yellows. Just looking off that. First yellow redirected off the second. Got the back one.
Ja, 70. Det blir långt på 60.
So still that centre guard in play. Sweden lying one at the moment. And with a chance to put a nice one here at the top of the fort.
On the heavy side though.
Yeah.
Bra Nina. Precis här när Nina gjorde frysningen i förra omgången dit.
There's that comparison. She's still total percentage 94 over loop, 79, 99% on her draws.
Probably knocked her down a wee peg though with that draw coming deep, but still having an amazing game, Vertrup. Talk about amazing, look at that shot. We'll see, stick to shooter, I don't think so, maybe rolls out, but still very nicely played. Oh, I think Sigfridsson called that one in. If so, that's an amazing shot.
Time, let's head for sheets D, Switzerland against Scotland, 8th end. 6-2 Scotland.
Ja, minst. 80 okej.
Even Muirhead tried to play a double, ended up rolling in front of the second Swiss stone, making this one really difficult for Titlis. Just a halfway tap and try and hold the shooter. And she will make that shot. Very nicely played by Titlis, and still a chance to come back in the game. Still trailing by 2 though after 8 ends. Even Muirhead with hammering in 9th. 2 points up on Switzerland.
9秒。OK， 5， 有，踩踩 S， 有，拍，踩踩 S， 拍，Hurry。OK。放好了，出来就是正的，出来就一直都跟上一个不太一样，好像。
20. Är det 0 eller 20? Är det där 20? Ja. Tajt. Såg lite tajt ut för det, men... Det är inte det. 20 den där. Fart Maria. Sist 20. Bra.
好，但别甩太大了。没事。力量稍微降一减哈。
There's the comparison of the four stones. Skip Brits playing the skip stones for Sweden. Wang has really upped her game. It's the best she's played so far.
With 97% on hits, you believe she can make this one. That's pretty good there.
They're well apart, aren't they?
Yeah, it's going to be a very long roll for Maria Pritz.
Sorry.
What can Maria Pritz come up with here?
60.
See this red one disappear.
So she's left a draw for Bin Yuang to score 2. Although her draws hasn't been perfect so far. You'd expect her to make it into the rings with this one. Such a good end to score 2 as well in the 8th. If you make this one, you're 1 point up. You'll probably try and force Sweden to take their one in 9th, and then you can come home with last stone in 10th. Big advantage.
14秒，14秒5吧。
So last stone of this 8th end. Chinese skip hoping to secure her 2 points. played the end well. Nicely past the guard. And gently into the house. And they do get there too. And it's the Chinese now who head into the lead. And after 8 ends, it's China 5, Sweden 4. So our featured game in this round robin, China against Sweden. There's the numbers so far. China edging into the lead, and we're into the 9th end. Who's your money on now, Xander?
It's hard to tell now. Obviously, I've probably favoured Sweden before this game started, with them being undefeated and all, but China has the edge here. And they've put up the centre guard, really going to try and force Sweden to take their one here. So I really can't tell, Alison. It's a coin flip for me. Maybe just the experience of the Swedish team might give them the edge, although China obviously has played the World Championship plenty of times before as well.
It's been quite a tussle.
Yeah, we couldn't have asked for a better game. Closer game anyway.
Some good quality curling. Girls have played some great shots. And some good tactics on display as well.
Oh, yeah, that's not very good at all. Big mistake. Yan Shu playing so well. All-star lead so far this week, but that's a terrible mistake. Taking off the centre guard, leaving that yellow in the house, and now a corner guard for Sigfridsson to come around. And those two shots are really going to put China on the back heel. They're going to have to work quite hard to come back in the end now. And while we see this draw settling down right in front of the tee line, I think we're going to skip over to sheet C. And it's Italy playing Canada. Diana Gaspari and our team lying 2 at the moment. And it's down to Rachel Holman playing just a draw, I think, to score her one. Quite the tight game there as well. Canada not maybe being that unstoppable force as some would have thought. So this one's coming down now. almost over curling, but it's going to snag a piece of the wind foot. So 1 for Rachel Holman. We have a 2-point lead on Italy after 8 ends. And back on our sheet, we just saw Shin Chuang Yu play an amazing double takeout.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Just squeeze that second one out of the house. And that's certainly the type of shot you need to be playing now, with the setup play from Mianshu not being quite up to scratch. So if she could make that super double, I'd expect her to make. That's a hit and roll. I think they're going to try and roll away from the corner guard. And makes that pretty much perfect. Nice roll to keep Sweden away from the corner guard.
What a game, Xander, we have on sheet A.
Yeah,
it's all happening there.
I have no clue what's happening here. It's just Russia falling a bit apart, I think. Anna Sidorova yet again just left with a really difficult shot. Run back. Latvia line 2. Working it hard for line here. Will she catch anything? It's only going to be one. And another steal for Latvia. 3 steals in a row now. And actually, they're going to...
Could this be their first win?
This might well be, playing the reigning European champions of Russia.
And Russia as well, great rivals.
There's about 40% Russians living in Latvia. Hopefully we'll be able to come back to that game with a highlight from the last couple of ends. China still being able to make these hit and sticks very important if they ever roll out. Just going to leave a free draw for Sweden. Berchup now with a hit. Wennerstrom and Pritz really working this one. Rolls to the center line.
And one game is over on the arena. Final score, Switzerland 4, Scotland 10. Scotland with 4 in the 9th end to secure that 10-4 victory. A well-fought victory by Eve Muirhead and her team, and that takes the Scots up into 5 wins and just the 1 defeat, and Switzerland on 3 wins and 3 losses. So Scotland march on, but we don't know who's going to win this one. Do we, Xander? This is so close.
Yeah, very close, and Binny Wang here has a good chance of pressuring Sweden to blank the end. That way they can keep a 1-point lead coming into the 10th end.
So the nose hit and away.
So it doesn't quite roll away from the corner. Good chance for Pinny Wang to maybe play the role herself. It'd certainly be better for Sweden to take a 1 here. You could come home at just tied up with last on. So should really go hard for the roll here. Will roll. Maybe not far enough though.
还可以再放一点哈，还可以。这面逆时针现在打一打还挺直的。
打一打是挺可控的。还是那边打起来打。
There we go, black end from Fritz and Sweden.
As predicted by yourself. So all to play for in the final end. After 9, China 5, Sweden 4. Sweden with a hammer.
点线 OK 啊，6区。
有点线长。
全力也要不够。6区。6。我。OK， 好球。Nice shot。
Ja.
80 på båda typ.
Jag har inte dragit runt korna där. Okej. Kan tänka mig lite mindre bara. Ja. Ja. Mellanhake! Ja. Linjen är bra. Titta upp. Linjen är jättefin. Släppas upp. Dra den där. Kör den hit.
Släppas upp. Lite närmare kanske. Lite närmare.
Titta nu tror jag.
Det är bra.
Maggan. Bra spelare.
micken. Ja. Ska vi spela en nolla bara? Ja. Ska se.
Looking for the roll, can't quite make it. And I think we'll see Ming Wang just called a hit and roll back to the center line. None of the teams being overly aggressive here. Sweden obviously wants to make sure they can score the one for the extra. And China seems to be happy if Sweden can take a win. They'll have last one in the extra. It's a cautious approach for two by Sweden. China's just going to try and prevent that happening. They'll roll out here though.
Jag bara funderar på frysningen i mitten.
Nej.
Jag tycker det är bra också. Bara vilket som för mig.
Jag tycker cornern alla dagar i veckan.
Vad är du sugen på? Nej, det som är bäst vill jag göra. Båda är bra. Runda då. Vad är det du tänkte på först?
Det känns mycket lättare än finrundning med corner.
Tänk att vi får hjälp att flytta deras om vi fryser i mitten. Ska vi göra den här tycker jag vi ska trycka ner lite.
Jag tycker corner.
Runda då. Runda. 65.
Just not really agreeing here.
Han drar den på linjen.
They had two options. They could either come around the corner guard, which I think is the call in the end. But they're also looking to just freeze the red one, hoping maybe China would blast it and leave no stones in the house, allowing them to draw around the corner guard without any
What they decided.
corner guard. Draw around the corner.
Bra linje! Hård linje! Bra linje! Hård linje! Hård!
Kör, kom igen.
Hård, hård! Kör med Nina! Bara fart!
Vi sopar den ganska långt.
Perfekt linje, den kan stanna bara. Bara stanna.
Ja. Bra. Sugen att få förbi den där. Bra sop.
Bra Maria.
Perfekt. 65.
Ja, 68.
There's another close one out on sheet C.
Yeah.
Canada against Italy, 6-4 Canada, 9th end.
Diana Gaspari already lying one here. Just needs to draw the forfeit. First score of 2 to tie up the game. Olvera and Olivieri on the sweep here. Really working it. And just letting off it again. That's always a good sign. And just going to come off to red. Not pushing it far enough. So they'll sit 2, score 2. And it's 6-6 after 9. Canada with hammer in 10th.
We're in 10. It's all to play for between China and Sweden. 5-4 to the Chinese. Swedes with the hammer.
Couple of stones in behind the corner guard now. Maria Wennerström just going to follow the freeze just played by China.
Samma linje, ni har den. Känns lite kort. Kör då! Perfekt linje. Bara fart. Perfekt linje. Ända börjar där. Ingen där. Ingen där. Fart på linje. Den är där. Ja, jag linjen måste dra. Ja, räcker då.
There we go. Superb draw by Wennerström.
Ska jag sätta sten nu?
Okej, 6-21.
Just getting back to back. Great draws here. Just a bead of stones on the house at the moment. And this time, the red one's going to be a good piece in front of the tee line, making it very, very difficult for Sweden to play a corner freeze and lie shot. Just calling the team down.
Den ser jättefin ut. Det var längre emellan vad jag trodde.
Ja.
Får den ju aldrig över näsan. Det sitter
Ja,
trappt
inte
ner.
över näsan.
Det räcker ju att få den. Det räcker ju att få den på sidan.
Precis, liksom. Det kan ändå vara bra att trycka undan.
Ja, jag trycker det.
Ja, ja. Sen.
They have 6
Men det är
minutes.
viktigt att behålla egen bara. Jag vet inte vilken fart vi ska
Just
spela.
over.
Should be plenty with 4 stones to go.
Should be plenty.
Det kan ju stanna bättre än gul. Jag tror aldrig vi kommer få den sämre. Ja, jag tänker clearing eller 80, men... Ja, jag tänkte clearing eller 80, men...
Du måste ta tunnare. Jag tänker mig bara en
90 då?
20.
Åh, det känner jag inte riktigt för. Vad är alternativet? Försöka komma kapp eller? Få in den här liksom?
Nej, det går inte. Du ser bara halva.
Jag tycker det är bättre att spela lite fart så det händer liksom något på båda sidor. På, men jag vet inte om det blir bra.
Alltså, bara att sätta den hit och rulla dit är bra.
Ja.
Det är viktigt att behålla spel.
Men på 20 har vi inte rullat så långt. Vi behöver en 0 eller 90 på för vikt tycker jag. Jag tycker 80 eller 90, men känns det... Jag tycker jag också som vi har lite bättre koll på.
Spela 90 då.
Ja,
eller
precis.
Nolla kan jag tänka mig.
Ja,
Halv
90 eller något.
Va? Är det halv eller? Nej, så stunt som möjligt.
I
En
think
fjärdedel.
they're looking at the double here. Just wanting to
Spela nolla, Nina.
squeeze that draw just played by China over the face of her yellow third shot.
Ja. Oj, vad litis.
This is a difficult shot being called, but if anyone's going to play it, it has to be Birchips. He's been fantastic so far. Certainly sounds close. We'll make the double, but won't be able to sit two here.
Det är bra.
Almost perfect.
Det är bra, Nina. Kan jag inte tjappa av turneringen då eller? Är det? Ja. Om de tjappar av turneringen va?
So everyone coming up to have
现
a
在是这个比他
a
这个
look.
紧，
现在这个打定的话就
你这不能打定，打只能往这边甩，
甩呗。
然后了要么就是双飞，
双飞这边有没有相关啊？
没有啊，太远了，没有相关。
来说好一些。双飞的话打完还粘一个呗。
What would you do here, Xander?
Yeah, certainly you want to remove the shot stone. I think they're just discussing which way to roll. And I think just roll to the right of our screen here. Get some good separation.
这个球按气氧力量一磕，咱就比他
You
远。
want to roll to the left there and leave a pocket for Sweden to freeze onto.
对啊，你按双飞来也行。
完打的话，要不行打一半一半打靠来。
对啊，可以的。
要是打往这边甩呢？你打往这边甩靠的话，人是你要
打往这边甩安全一点，两个人。
也行，可以，我觉得也可以。OK。其实我觉得还按双飞来吧，你打甩过来摞起来之后也是找。
OK，行，
按逆时啊，
逆时
打到一半一半就行。
，OK，加油。
这点行吗？
行。
Important stone for Yinlu. China.
They might be looking for a double here. And she's going to make it perfect. But just a bit worried. They will leave some sort of a pocket here for Sweden.
It was perfectly executed.
Well, certainly if you remove all the yellows.
If that was all that was really needed.
There's a couple of stones left, 3 to be exact. Doesn't sit too awfully for China. But if Pritz could ever just tap a little bit on the high red to create a nest, that'd be pretty nice, but it's going to be high and heavy, rolling to the open.
Back to Latvia, Russia. That great game going on 2 on sheet A. 7-6 Latvia leading, 9th end.
Oh, big shot for Anna Sidorova yet again. I think this is a run back. Maybe not.
Can she make this one to take them into the lead? Back into the lead.
Just a bit more control weight here. Lying 3 yellows in the house. She's going to make it. Spills one of the yellows, but still scores 3 here. Oh, what a shot under pressure by Anna Sidorova. Fairy tale might just be over for Latvia in this game.
9-7 now.
Yep.
You have to try and get 2 to level it up in the 10th. It's getting very tense in our featured game 2. China, Sweden. We're at the skip stones. It's all reds in there.
A bit too many, maybe. And certainly there's a bigger chance of this yellow catching somewhere with having 5 reds in there. So if Pritz plays a nice freeze, it might just be difficult for Binnie Wang to get rid of it.
Precis.
Maria Pritz carrying the skip stones for Sweden. Looking to set up the freeze. Making it as difficult for Wang as possible.
Well, they're calling this one through the house, so not quite sure what she's going to get here. No, just rolling off, and it's going to be a dead duck in the open for Sweden.
That wasn't quite the plan.
就按打定，打定，打定了。行。
打还像刚才那样往这边甩。
要有的话，稍微往这边甩一点也行，也可以。
按刚才来就行。OK。
Certainly not much to discuss here. You're just going to have to throw away, peel away the yellow. Even just roll away here. Leave the forfeit open with no backing. %99% on hit so far for Binnie Wang.
How do you lose that 1%?
Not quite sure. There's a difficult scoring system for the event. I could tell you this much, that's a 100% shot right there. Maybe not. Too awful to sit right there. It's gonna make it a little more tricky for Pritz. If she wants to play the draw, she really only has the 1 foot. She has called a hit here.
Skulle tro det, men jag vet inte. 0.
Vill du spela en nolla? 95.
So maybe not feeling too confident with the draw or either not feeling too confident with playing the in-turn draw here. So they are going to play a hit, and they can't really roll too far. Needs to stick this one in the 4 foot. Last stone of the 10th end, looking to score 1 here to tie things up and put the game into an extra. And Sweeper's backing away. Still backing away. Where is this going to end up? It's going to roll too far. China steals 1, and it's game over.
And who would have thought? Who would have thought? It's great victory for China. What a tussle it was between the two teams. Final score, they've beaten Sweden 6-4. Sweden, who were the undefeated team, have had their first defeat of the round robin. And great victory for China.
Maybe a bit of an upset there. China picks up their 2nd win. Now we have no teams left in the competition undefeated. Sweden will lose their first. If you stick around, we'll take a look at some of the most important highlights from the second half of the game. And also, we'll try and get a few words from winning skip Bin Yuang. 6th end, looking pretty messy for Bin Yuang. This is her last stone, with 1 more to come from Maria Pritz. Sweden line 3 makes a really nice in-off, spins up to the 1 foot, makes things difficult for the Swede. It's Maria Pritz, then left with the upweight, trying to squeeze that red one out. But it's gonna jam there, only 1 for Sweden. What a key shot that turned out to be for Bin Yuang. Skip ahead to the 10th end. Wow, how many reds are not in there. But certainly just need a score of 1 here to tie the game up and put it into an extra. Decides to play the hit and will roll off. China steals 1 and the game. Final score 6 shots to 4 in favor of China. So these are the other matches. Latvia close to winning over Russia, but just couldn't score 2 in the 10th end to tie it up. Canada also just nearly beating Italy. Rachel Homing having to play her last stone in 10th to win it there, while Scotland managed to score 5 in the 9th end. Tierney went all out, and it looks a bit ugly on the scoreboard, but a win for Scotland nonetheless. So all games are pretty much finished here in the Volvo Sports Centre. These These are the standings after draw 10. Scotland and Sweden at the top with 5 wins, 1 loss. Russia also at 5 wins, but they have lost 2 games. There's a bunch of teams at 4 wins as well. You'll see Latvia, the home nation, at the very bottom with 6 losses, yet to win a game.
Betty, congratulations on a win over Sweden, who are undefeated. Great win.
Yeah, I feel so great. I never think about how to win the game. So right now it's so exciting, and we have the tough start, 5 games to lose. But right now I think we know how to play the game, so it's work.
What changed today then? What changed?
I think the mind, we are not thinking about, not overthinking. We just play on the rock on the time, 1 rock on the time, one end on the time, and just thinking the game, not the end. So good, yeah.
Could this be the turning point and for the rest of the week for you?
Sorry?
Could this be the turning point for you that makes you go on to win more?
I hope so. I hope we have the 5 more game. We hope we can win all of them. But we have try everything and work hard. Yeah.
It was a great game. Well played. Well done.
Thank you.
So that was skip of China, Bin Yuang, just beating undefeated Sweden. Sweden will have another chance playing Canada tonight. This was the Titlis Glacier Mountain World Women's Curling Championship 2013, and I hope you join us again later tonight and for the rest of the week for some more exciting curling. Thank you.